2020 has been an eventful year for the non-interest finance market amidst the COVID-19 pandemic that disrupted key sectors in the global economy. Welcome to a very special edition of the Islamic Finance Weekly program. On this special day, we would like to wish our viewers happy festive celebration across the globe. It was a busy year for the Islamic Finance Weekly program, and we would like to bring to you our top 10 most viewed videos for the year 2020. We start with number 10, which is the video on the Islamic finance development of Sharia-compliant investable products key to market growth. An interview with Mr. Shuaib Haudu, the Executive Director, Stanbic IBTC Asset Management Limited.
Investors still have appetite for fixed income securities because they would rather see, return of principal. That's their first concern before they worry about return on principal. What that means is that if I give you 100 naira, I want to see my 100 naira back before you give me 10% return on that. If you put 100 naira in the equity market, you could end up with 80 naira, and a lot of investors don't want to see that. So those are the sort of concerns that we've seen. But the appetite is still in the fixed income. It's still in the fixed income market.
The 9th most viewed Islamic Finance Weekly video featured Mr. Novadalizan Abdurrahman, the Managing Director of Taj Bank, who stressed that interbank operations among non-interest banks will boost alternative finance markets. In Nigeria today, the two major non-interest licensed banks, Jaiz Bank and Taj Bank, have contributed immensely to the growth of the financial services industry, providing a new spectrum for the alternative finance market and boosting the prospect for financial inclusion in the country.
First and foremost, I think the two of us is not enough. We need more NIBs because the more the merrier. And I think the market is large enough to take a lot more. I think we barely scratched the surface, and the market is deep enough for many more NIBs who can create a market by itself. Yeah, so because we need to depend on each other to create a robust industry.
Non-interest finance as a catalyst to Nigeria's socio-economic development with Dr. Bashir Oshodi, Group Head Non-Interest Banking of Sterling Bank, made the number 8 most viewed video on the chart.
I prefer to go for a dimension musharaka structure, or what we call the dimension partnership structure, that combines equity and lease, such that after 5 years of paying for your own finance, or a mortgage in this case, and you're unable to pay at some point, let the bank sell the asset, and then you have your share of equity. You have your share back, That way, even if you get a 10-year mortgage or 15-year mortgage, and you pay for 12 years or 13 years and you can't pay anymore, you're sure you're going to get something back. Don't forget what you're going to get back is the present value of your share of the asset. Of course, in Nigeria, property value appreciates all the time. So when you say present value, it means that you're going to be getting more money than you're actually putting over time.
For the number 7 most viewed Islamic Finance Weekly video, it was a discourse on the thought sukuk issuance and how it will boost the non-interest finance space in Nigeria's capital market. An interview with Mr. Charles Farquhar.
At any point in time, all the stakeholders, the DMO, SEC, NSC, and even the operators are looking for ways to deepen the market so that the market will attract different sorts of investors, which will make capital raising very easy for issuers. So at all point in time, the stakeholders are doing what they can to ensure that the market is deepening, because that will attract different sort of investors, both local and international, and this will enhance the capital raising of issuers that have come to the markets.
The 6th most viewed video for the 2020 was an exclusive interview with Dr. Jubil Salawuddin, the principal partner of Secure Huda Limited, which explored how Islamic finance can serve as a tool for supporting development financing in Nigeria. How will you describe the performance of the Sukuk since the first two were issued in 2017 and 2018?
Well, let's start with the Sukuk bond of the 2017. The Sukuk bond of 2017 was oversubscribed. I guess about 100 billion naira, oversubscribed. But then we were so happy to see that. The challenge is that most of the subscription didn't come from retail. They were all corporate bots, particularly from the pension fund. And it took a long time to have the trading on the secondary markets for this Sukuk. So what we hope to see is that we want to see more investors who are willing to trade on their Sukuk rather than buy and keep.
Number 5 on the chart focused on regulatory clarity, key to the growth of Nigeria's non-interest finance market, with Mrs. Adeola Sumola, a lawyer and partner at Udo Udoma and Bello Osage.
I see that for many of the non-interest financial institutions, their communication is more liberal now in terms of even what they put on social media. When some of these institutions are advertising some of their products on social media, I do see now that the communication is a little bit more liberal and also aimed at ensuring that the target market has an understanding of what the product is and what the institution is trying to say to its target market. So I think that they just need to improve on that, and they also need to look for more innovative tools, all aimed at ensuring that financial inclusion is achieved.
The fourth most viewed video was a discourse on challenges facing the growth of Takafu and opportunities for deepening it across Nigeria. An exclusive interview with Mr. Aminu Tuko, the acting managing director of New Takafu Insurance Limited. So what are the key issues that should be addressed to unlock the growth of Takafu Insurance in Nigeria?
Key issues basically is, one, let's see how we can educate the populace. What do I mean by educating the populace? And it's twofold. One, the importance of insurance. Then the value-added services of Takafu. When we go and open a door, or when we go and knock at a door, we find out there are two doors we need to knock on. First one is why they need to do insurance. Second of all, why it should be Takafu. Once people can understand why they need to do insurance, then we're able to successfully sell them the principles of Takafu. It will make it much easier. So we do a lot of education. We do a lot of education to individuals. We do a lot of education to corporate bodies. We do a lot of education to the brokers. The brokers, to a large extent, manage a lot of corporate organizations. And if you're able to convince a broker, the broker is also able to deliver that message to its own customers. So it makes your work a bit easier. So these are the ways we need to work on.
Bofia Act Review, Key to Islamic Banking Growth in Nigeria, emerged the third most viewed video for 2020, which featured Mr. Abdul Wahab Sadruddin, Imam of Aradif Islamic Foundation Central Mosque in Lagos.
Nigeria as a secular state, whereby we are multi-religious in nature. Islamic banking is facing a critical problem through which philosophies here in Nigeria, whereby the basic causes of this problem is the disunity which is between the multi-religious in Nigeria, be it a religious religion sentiment or an e-trade or e-trade within the Muslims and non-Muslims. So likewise, internally among Muslims also, there are ignorance in them through which some didn't know the scope and the benefit of this particular Islamic banking.
The second video with highest views on the chart is the Islamic Development Bank support for OIC member states with $2.3 billion COVID-19 intervention fund. In terms of innovation and technology, the ISDB is taking its financing strategy to the next level by utilizing the blockchain platform to provide the funding its OIC member states. Also, the $500 million Transform Fund has been established by the ISDB to support entrepreneurs, scientists, and innovators by providing funding for solutions to COVID-19 and other global health challenges. And the most viewed Islamic Finance Weekly video for the year 2020 is how Nigeria can leverage WAC crowdfunding to support its healthcare sector. An interesting virtual interview with Dr. Aliyu Dahiru Muhammad, Deputy Director, Training and Linkages, International Institute of Islamic Banking and Finance at Bayero University, Kano.
There are institutions now calling for, providing loans to governments, especially developing countries. So I'm afraid those financial institutions that will charge high interest rate should be avoided. Instead, there are institutions such as Islamic Development Bank that gives financing based on certain arrangement with minimal markup, and then the terms and conditions are somewhat simple to follow. So I really invite the government to look into, to explore this option of financing using Islamic finance.
Dr. Aliyu believes that Islamic finance can support the fragile healthcare system in Nigeria through its role in alternative financing.
Healthcare itself is a basic necessity, and by its nature, Islamic finance will support anything of that nature. It wants to avoid gambling, speculations, gaming, and all these things, and entertainment too much. It wants to focus on the real estate. So for two reasons, Islamic finance will certainly support healthcare initiatives and the focus on healthcare financing. And as the world is approaching now, we will soon see, or we started to see many focus or investment in healthcare financing. So Islamic finance will definitely, because it is a real sector, and secondly because that will go a long way in achieving maqasid al-sharia, that is the objective of sharia. So I believe Islamic finance has a greater role to play in supporting the healthcare financing, in helping the country to get out of this recession. And we don't know how long it will last, but we pray it will not last long, and we hope that the government will look into possible measures based on non-interest arrangement, because this interest is one of the problems, one of the causes of our current situation of economic crisis that we are in.
Despite the challenges of COVID-19 and global economic uncertainty, the Islamic finance industry in Nigeria continues to witness huge prospects for growth. It still faces the challenge of standardization, limitation of products, adoption of digital banking, and the huge gap in Islamic finance education. This shows that there is room for improvement in 2021 and beyond. I would like to use this medium to thank the Almighty for His infinite mercy that has seen us throughout the year 2020. I would also like to appreciate our viewers, contributors, and featured guests for making the Islamic Finance Weekly program a success in 2020. To my colleagues in the production and content team, I say a big thank you for the commitment, hard work, and dedication. Thank you so much. You can during the holiday watch our videos and read our news stories by clicking the www.ProShareNG.com website and search for the Islamic Finance segment on WebTV banking channels. Join us next week Friday for the first edition of the Islamic Finance Weekly year 2021. This is wishing you a prosperous new year ahead. Bye for now and please stay safe.